listening to the Talking Shrimpers podcast, sponsored by Surgical Holdings.
Welcome to TSP. I'm your host, Sensei Phil. This week with Finn, Charlie, and fan of the month, Jack is back. Welcome, Jack. Coming up, another away defeat. And there won't be many cheers in a minute. Let's get the cheers out of the way. Exactly. Laugh. Finn, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Obviously not great from a Southend point of view, but other than that, yeah, pretty nice. Not really done too much. Been quite chill, really.
Good. Charlie, how about you?
Yeah, similar, really. Working, and then obviously watch the Southend game back, and that kind of puts a pay to any good weekend that I did have. Yeah, it's just annoying, isn't it? How like a result, a negative result can just really ruin your evening. But hey, I'm over it now, I think.
I bet you're not. We'll test that out. Jack, how you been, mate? Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good until about the hours between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Saturday. But apart from that, I've been all good, thank you.
And you were there as well.
Yes, I was there,
so we'll chat about that coming up. First of all, let's hear what Kev had to say.
Good afternoon to Scunthorpe by the odd goal. How hard is that one to take?
Yeah, really hard, because I thought, especially first half, we were excellent. Camped to near half, and the ones pushing to try and score. And yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, listen, it's frustrating because it's another game we come to a team and look how good we are. And I'm fed up of talking here and saying we were good, but not come away with anything.
Yeah, there was very little in the game in the first half. If anything, we would have the team on top. So then to go in a goal down must have been incredibly frustrating. Yeah,
listen, I think we were on top of the game. You can see that, and we just need a moment to get right. I think we've hit the near post on crosses too often, but I think they are going to go in and get rollicking for the first half, and moment of madness, and teams haven't done anything to score against us, and that's the frustrating thing because we don't give up many chances. I think they've had one in the second half on the breakaway with Whitehall who hits the post, and that's it.
Plenty of chances in the second half, just didn't fall our way. I mean, there was a penalty appeal in the second half as well. It looks like Ops is being shoved over.
Yeah, listen, Ops has gone round and he's chasing the ball. The guy's come across him and nudged him over. Listen, it's one of the worst performances I've seen from an official. I don't know what was going on. One player's made 5 fouls in the first half, doesn't get booked. Even in the first minute, Ralphie's been knocked off the pitch. Yeah. And then the big decisions, which, listen, you get the little ones, whatever it is, but the big decisions, it's a penalty and it's a sending off. Yeah. I don't know what he's thinking or what the linesman's thinking, because anywhere else in the pitch, you give a foul. And then Charlie's pushed, whether it's just outside maybe, but he's got pushed in the back by the same player who could then be sent off. The left back's on a yellow card, then takes Keenan out, and it's not a booking because he knows he's on a yellow card. It's madness. Honestly, it's madness, and it's so frustrating. And then I get booked for being frustrated without swearing, and one of the worst I've seen. That.
Cheers.
Yeah. So Kev obviously not very happy. Likewise, I think many of the travelling supporters. Jack,
yes.
What you got to say about the game? Start with you.
Well, first off, as most games are, they're promising. You're thinking, here we go, we can score, and the goal never comes. Sort of same old, really. And then, it's a mistake at the back. The goalkeeper and Gubbins, I don't know what was going on there.
It was a terrible mix-up, wasn't it?
Well, it needs a bit of communication.
See them having a go at each other after.
And obviously the keeper does get it clear, and you're thinking, great. But then they get it forward. It's dreadful defending from, I think it's Boyers. He's just, I can't remember who it was. It must be Taylor? I'm not sure. There's 2 defenders anyway. And they both, one of them's got to deal with it. But they're just both almost similar to the way how the mix up with the goalkeeper, really. They're just both of them trying to defend, but one of them needs to take the sort of action on it. And, it's a poor goal to concede, right? Literally the last kick of the first half, really.
Guys, coming to you. We started, obviously, with Owen Mason in goal. We mentioned him last week. Obviously got the clean sheet and penalty save. Keenan came back in. Maltz also come back in. Slavy. Any surprises there? And do you think we should have started with Mason? I know we said last week probably be good to see him. Has he had enough time with the defence? I mean, looking at that goal, doesn't look like it, does it? Charlie, start with you.
Personally, yeah, I think I would have probably started Mason in goal off the back of the cup game. I think saving a penalty, keeping a clean sheet, and by all accounts, he had a very strong game, albeit a lesser team. But his performance sounded very strong, and I think he earned his place to start this week. So I wasn't surprised by that. And also, I think it's been well publicised with Colin. He's been in the limelight quite a lot recently, and I think it probably took that limelight and that pressure off him a little bit. And also, it just gave him, Mason, his competition for places, which, goalkeeper position is probably one thing we haven't really had massive competition of places in. So I wasn't surprised to see that. And yeah, it was refreshing to see Keenan start and Slavy. So looking at the squad, I was quite pleased with the lineup, to be honest with you. I wasn't too concerned looking at the lineup and the squad that was on the bench.
And coming to you, Finn, Nathan Ralph, obviously 200 games for the club, great servant, great for him, but it wasn't a great game for him. Got knocked out of the game very early, as Kev alluded to. Yeah. Did that kind of change our fortunes at the back?
Yeah, I think, whilst we do have, I know it didn't quite work out in that game, but a good replacement in Gubbins, it's worrying having your captain injured is worrying anyway, particularly when he's getting on a bit for a footballer. It's worrying at any age, but yeah, to have your captain injured, hopefully it's not too serious. But then you just think the kind of players that we've let go. So we've let go Adam Crowther. We're just getting rid of.
Yeah, we're quite short now, aren't we?
Yeah, now
because it does look like he's going to be out actually this Saturday with that knee, likely.
Oh right,
and tomorrow.
Well, it's fortunate, yeah. But to be honest, unlike Charlie, I guess I'm going to add a bit of spice because I guess I was happy with the lineup in some ways, but there were some things that I looked at before, and I just wasn't sure. For example, Kendall being on the bench, I wasn't too sure about that. And it's nothing against Slavy, but I just think in a game like that where we need to start beating these top six sides, I would have started Kendall up top with Dallas. And I guess Kev will probably say that he's rotating the squad, or then you have to ask why are we not investing in the squad if we have to rotate that much? So. Also, Leon on the bench, I wasn't really too sure about that. I think if you look at the midfield, individually, I said this in my match report, I think individually they're three pretty good players, like decent players, but I think all three, they're all quite a similar build. They're all quite small. They're not really tough tackling. I mean, Keenan is tough tackling and maybe Coker, but as a three, they're quite similar. And that's where I think we're missing. We've said it time and time again on the podcast, but I think that's where we're missing a tough tackling central midfielder who's just going to put a foot through the ball. So, yeah, I mean, there's a few things. I guess Gubbins as well on the bench after being player of the month was a bit of a puzzling one for me. But I do agree with the goalkeeper decision. As much as we can say for the goal, it didn't work out, but that's in hindsight. But I think before the game, I was happy with the decision. But yeah, there were a few things with the lineup I wasn't too sure about, to be honest.
Jack, what did you make of Owen Mason in goal? I mean, I read his distribution wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't. But then what I noticed is it's the exact same problem happening with him that's happening with Colin. So then at what point are we not looking at the goalkeepers? Are we looking at the goalkeeping coach more than anything? Because that was during the game, I'm thinking, well, they're all moaning at the keeper, but Colin was doing the exact same thing and Hayes were doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, we had the same with Hayes, didn't we?
Yeah, so at what point do we look at the goalkeeping coach and think, are we coaching them this way rather than them sort of, that's what I think. Because, his distribution wasn't great. It was a lot of kicking it outside and, you'd either just about keep it on, with a header. Or it would literally just go out of play and it would just, kind of rinse and repeat, really. In terms of, goal kicks and stuff like that, it wasn't great at all.
And looking at it, I mean, as Kev said, first half I thought we played quite well, dominated a lot of possession, but without really creating too much. From your point of view, did we create enough chances to put the game to bed?
In the first half, we should have scored at least one, if not two. But second half it was a bit more even. We had one or two, but we didn't really do enough, if I'm honest, to warrant us winning. Overall, I'd say it's just that first half, as not most games, but quite a few games, you find that we just don't take advantage when we're on top. and it comes back to bite us. So.
And it's been the story of our season, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie, another game where we haven't got a result against a team in the top 6.
Yeah.
What we talked about it last week. What have we got to do to change it? Do we need maybe a couple more bodies in? I don't know.
For me, I mean, this is just of this season, isn't it? We dominate performances, we get into sort of key areas, and then we can never seem to convert. We just don't seem to be clinical enough when we're on top. That seems to be like the story of our season. You know, it's fine being competitive against these top 6, but ultimately we're coming away empty-handed, and that's fine for having all the possession. But ultimately, if you're not scoring against these teams, then it doesn't really matter. How do we overcome this? Now, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I was wondering, like, is it kind of like psychological, a bit like with England with the penalty shootouts? Yeah. It was just could never score a penalty shootout.
I hope you won't take that long.
No, yeah, well, no. Do you know what I mean? I sit there and think, you know, is it a little bit, because the players and that will be aware that their record against the top 6 isn't brilliant, and does a little bit of that creep in, and I don't know, is it a player's a little bit too safe against them? They don't want to make that extra yard or take that player on because they're worried that, you know, they might be dispossessed and or lose the possession or whatever. They don't want to be that person to lose possession. As I wonder if it's just a little bit too safe at times. And I mentioned this like on a tweet that I put out, or X as it is now, but I wonder if you look at that top 6, the majority of those teams, now I appreciate money is an issue. Forest Green, you know, they put out their wage bill and it's considerably higher than us. You know, it's probably one of the, if not the highest in the league. I just wonder, the teams in around the top 6, they're all bolstering their squads, whether it be signing players, loaning players, whatever it may be. And if you look at us, we've got rid of a defender that we sold where we're short. We haven't got a replacement. A goalkeeper at the time that we got rid of without a direct replacement. We brought a striker in. And this was my worry a few episodes ago when Harry got announced. Yeah. That my concern was that on his day, when he's fit and firing, he's a fantastic player. However, he has got a history of injuries. He had it when he was with us for a period of time, and it appears that he's out again for... There doesn't really seem to be any update as to the length of time he's out for. So you look at our squad now, and other than those 3, we haven't had any other business. And I get that money's an issue, and the club's losing money yearly just running the club as it is. But there's obviously a playing budget, and it may be a case that we have to get rid of some players to then afford to get some players in. But why are we not looking at the loan market? That's what I would be questioning, to just bolster that squad, to give us a bit more rotation. If it is that players are getting fatigued and we need to rotate because of the games coming in quick concession, Tuesdays, Saturdays for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
Kev's alluded to that we've got one of the smallest squads in the league. Now, whilst that's all good because it's a tight-knit squad, ultimately, when you get into this part of the season where the games are coming in thick and fast, it's the business end, and you're looking at the teams above you that are all strengthening, it just feels from the outside that we're just sort of staying a bit static, which is where my frustration with it is coming at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn, we talked last week, didn't we, about the systems. You talked about you didn't necessarily think it was working. Have we got, I alluded to, have we got the right players for it? I feel a bit of sympathy for Kev, as you're saying. Charlie, we're going to be playing pretty much 2 games a week till the end of the season. With a small squad, you're going to get injuries, you're going to get suspensions. We need something, surely. What's your thoughts, Finn?
Yeah, and Charlie made an excellent point, and one that I've thought about for quite a while, which is the loan market. And I feel, obviously when we had Ben Peppel on loan, I think a lot of fans and maybe even the recruitment team at Southend kind of get sucked into thinking of the bad moment where he went and then we're kind of left without a striker. So I get that, but then what people don't think of is like the months before that where we weren't paying ridiculous amounts and we had a top quality striker who was putting away goals. So I think the loan market, it's harsh if you can't get that kind of clause put in so they can't recall them. But I think at our level, it's just something you've got to deal with, and you've got to reap the rewards of it and kind of just deal with the consequences and try and have some sort of plan around it. So I definitely think the loan market is something that we should be looking at. There's one thing that I wanted to bring up on the podcast, which I saved for here, which is actually a positive thing. And something quite interesting. So I don't like to get sucked into like the stats and the numbers too much with football, but I think this is one that's actually quite interesting. I was just looking at the table the other day. Honestly, I was just kind of puzzled as to why we can't beat these top 6 teams. So I was just trying to think. And I looked at the table, and there's only one team in the entire table who has conceded less goals than us, and that's Rochdale. So we're the second. We've got the second on paper best defence.
That's right.
So I feel like when fans kind of talk about the goalkeeper situation and all all the rest of it and defence and stuff, maybe we shouldn't be looking at the goalkeepers. Maybe it's time to start looking at the attack and asking questions of them.
Yeah, good point.
Because if you compare our goals,
if we're putting them in the other end, we're winning games.
Yeah, I mean our conceded goals stats are fantastic, but our goals scored aren't nearly good enough, really.
No, Finn, just on that, I mean, for me, I think you've hit the nail on the head defensively, and it's not just been this season. For the past couple of seasons, defensively, we have been extremely strong, really, really strong. And I think the fact that our defence has been so strong that we could afford to just score the odd 1 or 2 goals. I mean, teams, if you look at this season, a lot of the teams, especially the top 6, the goals that we've conceded against them, teams haven't played through us, all but you might say Carlisle game, but even then I think there was elements that we could have closed them down sooner and stuff. But we're sort of gifting teams these goals. It could be really avoidable, and again, Rochdale, we conceded bang on half time, bang on 90 minutes. Here, 45th minute, was it just before half time, wasn't it? Late conceding against York. We just can't seem to get over the line, and I wonder as well now. It's interesting that you say, Finn, because I start to look at, actually, is it more going forward? Is it the midfield? Are we missing something in the midfield? Because whilst individually we've got some really talented players and really good players, it just doesn't seem to be clicking. We don't seem to have someone who can just unlock, like grab a game by the scruff of his neck and push forward and break that final third and create something. It's almost like we've always got to play it out to the wings, cross the ball, and if we get on the end of it, happy days. It doesn't. I don't know. That's just whether you agree. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, I think also, Charlie, one thing I'd say is like the frustrating thing is I feel like we almost do have those players. You know, we have like the Leon, Keenans, kind of players like that, but it feels like they never play together, and this is something that I just don't understand. Because if you think about the midfield, and I agree with you, I think actually 99% of our problems at the moment are coming from the midfield. But then if you look at the midfield on paper, I don't think they're weak players for the most part.
No.
It seems weird that, so for example, against Scunthorpe, you're playing Coker and Keenan, but then Leon's on the bench. It feels like that always one is left out. And it feels a bit weird. If you had Keenan and Leon together in midfield, I feel like they'd run it. And if you look at our strikers on paper, again, I know I keep saying on paper, and football isn't played on paper, but it's just, on paper, our strikers are good strikers. They are quality for the league, and same with the defence. They've been playing well. So I do think our issues are in midfield, and I just wonder, are we playing the wrong players in certain games?
The only thing I find with Leon is he doesn't seem to last 90 minutes. And the other thing is with him, he's a great attacking player, but he doesn't want to track back. It's just the nature of the type of player he is. And unfortunately, in our system, it does leave gaps behind us. Now, when he comes on and we kind of put him on the left and he's taking players on, it's not so much of a problem for us. But I just wonder if that's one issue with Leon that Kev has. And I just wonder, do we change it up sometimes, playing, 4-4-1-1, playing Leon behind a sole striker? Because that's where Leon wants to be. That's where he's dangerous and where he can unlock things. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? We're stuck to playing a 3-5-2, and that's it. That's our system, and we don't. It's very rare that we'll deviate from that unless there's something's happened in the game where it sort of forces our hand, as a sending off or something like that. But we typically will set out as a 3-5-2, and that's it. And we've got the players we've got have to work within that system. you say again, like the likes of Bridgie, he's not really had a look in this season. I wonder why. I question why he's not really, because I haven't got any stats up here, but it'd be interesting to see his stats compared to like Boyes' stats in terms of goals and assists. Now, whilst Boyes, I think, is a fantastic player and across with the ball, Bridgie gives us. He's more of a goal threat, I think, going forward in terms of his delivery, his assists, his goals. Yet he can't seem to get a game for love nor money, or other than the cup games that we play. And the fact that he wasn't even in the squad, I wonder if the reasoning behind that, because I just think he's someone else. Again, I would quite like to see maybe him, play as like a false nine, a number 10 role, Bridgie. I think that's an option, but like you say, we've got Leon that could possibly play that role as well. I don't know, it's just trying to find the pieces to all fit and work, which at the moment we sort of seem to struggle to do.
Let's come to the penalty shout on Tom Hopper. Jack, obviously we said you were there.
Yeah.
Did you get much of a view of it?
Yeah, I was quite near that. From my perspective, it looked like a penalty because he's gone round in. I'm thinking, here we go, Tom Hopper's scoring a goal. Finally, it's about time. And it looks like he just gets pushed over. But now the people are saying that he's tripped up on the surface, like the grass, which is possible because it was dreadful service. But I've looked back at it and I still think it's a penalty. I've got
a view on it. What about you guys? Finn, did you see it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I would say it's a penalty because I'm biased, so that's pretty much it. But I guess it's a difficult one, but yeah, for me it's a penalty.
Let's get a measured view from Charlie.
Right, here we go. So, I'll be honest, when I first saw it, and even the replay, like the highlights that are out, I don't think it was. Looking at that from the view the camera had, I think it was a bit of a heavier touch as Hopper went round, and I think the ball really got away from him, and as soon as he felt the connection with the defender, he's going to go to the ground in the hope that he may get the penalty. That was my initial view, and I was pretty adamant that I think he was just chancing it really. But then I don't know if anyone's seen, so Pip from Diversity, he obviously vlogs every game. He's got a view from behind the goal, and it gives you a completely different view. And I've actually looked after watching that. I think there's a very strong shout for a penalty, because actually I think you can see that defender come across, and it was enough to. I think Hopper at that point was still able to stay on his feet, and so I think it it was a penalty also.
So I've seen it a few times, and here's my take. He's taken a very heavy touch. The ball is going, it's not going in the goal. It's going out of play. And he's taken that touch before the defenders come across. And then the defenders put the arm across. Now, I'm just thinking, playing devil's advocate, has the ref and the lino sort of seen that and thought, well, he's already taken the touch, so it doesn't really count. But then this is where I've kind of changed my mind. Now, Hopper's been quite clever, actually, because he's taken a bad touch. He's going out of play. If the defender doesn't touch Hop's not getting there. He's not quick enough to get on the end of it to change the direction of the ball. That's my take. But I think Hop knows that, which is why as soon as he's felt the arm across, that's when he's gone down.
Absolutely.
Now, so it is watching the Man City game, I don't know if you saw it yesterday. Unbelievable game. Man City, Liverpool.
Thought he was going to tie this in.
I mean, what a free kick. Unbelievable.
What a save as well.
Meant to end to the game. Now, obviously the penalty there, Alisson's taken out, can't remember who it was now, but he's taken the player out. And, what they've said at the end of the game was the rules of the game are that if, even though the ball is, gone, when the man has taken him out, if the foul has happened and the ball's still in play, then it is a penalty. So going by those rules, even though it is going out of touch, the guy's put his arm across, it is a foul. He's stopping Hopper from running, even if he can get there or can't get there. It's a foul. So actually, if you're sticking to the laws of the game, it should be a penalty. So, I mean, I kind of agree with Kevia. I don't know what the hell the ref and the lino are thinking. Yeah. Surely they must have seen that. To me, for me initially, no pen, but going by the laws of the game, it's a penalty.
Yeah, but I think it's National League, isn't it, for you? And it's the most blatant. I mean, I say
they're all
most
blind
blatant.
anyway, aren't
I
they?
don't. Yeah, I mean, I won't say it was most blatant because we've just discussed it there, and we've all had a slight difference of opinion on it. So it was not as clear cut, maybe as you would maybe suggest. But I mean, the ref, there was a foul. I mean, we might talk on it in a bit, but there was a push in the back, and that was blatant on Kendall. Now, whether that was in the box, I think it may have just happened just outside the box.
Just outside.
But that's a blatant anywhere. That's a fact. Like you can't be missing those sort of decisions, and that's just what gets frustrating. Because we're talking about the game, about a penalty that maybe we shouldn't have had. When actually there's probably a bit more that we should be talking about in terms of that game and the performance and where the problem lies. Should we be waiting on a dubious penalty to actually be drawing or beating these teams? We need to try and beat these teams, or at least get a result against these teams without all of this sort of question mark over decisions, really.
So, Jack, like I say, you were there.
Yeah.
What was it as bad as what we've heard in terms of the referee and officials?
Yeah,
Seems like they got away with a lot.
Yeah,
Scunthorpe.
but then I say the ref was bad for us, but it was bad for them as well. Like there was one, I think it was first half, where Ben Goodliff's absolutely lost his man and he's pulled him down. And every day of the week it's a free kick and a yellow card, but he's not giving it. So as much as we can say it's as bad for us, which he was, I think he was dreadful all round really. And I think the linesman closest to where we were sat was dreadful as well. There's a few offside decisions that I don't think he saw, and he never really gave anything, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to play deal or no deal. So we've got a number of players out of contract in the summer. And as Martin Treneman alluded to last week, maybe the squad needs a bit of an overhaul. So I just want your assessment on the squad. We might have to take this into the halftime show. But yeah, we're going to start with Colin, 22 years old. Deal or no deal, Charlie?
So for Colin, I am going to go deal. And the reason I go for deal is because he's not a bad goalkeeper. I think what Colin needs is another goalkeeper that's going to push him week in, week out for that shirt, for that competition. I think that's what's missing in the goalkeeping department at the moment. So, I'm deal for Colin.
Finn?
Yep, deal for me. I'm going to say deal, but as long as we get an experienced older goalkeeper who can play as a backup. I somewhat agree with Charlie that we definitely need another goalkeeper there. But I think rather than challenging him out, I think we need like an older goalkeeper who's going to coach him. A bit like David Martin, because when David Martin was at the club, Colin was fantastic. So
fantastic,
deal,
that's very true.
Deal, but get an older goalkeeper in if that works for the show.
Get Dave Martin back in.
Deal with Dave.
Yeah, deal for me. I agree pretty much with what else people said. The thing with David Martin, he needs someone like that because there's no shock that he's now managing at Chelsea under 20, under 18s or whatever it is now. So, he needs someone like that and I think it'll be worthwhile. But yeah, definitely.
Well, that's a clean sweep because there's a deal from me as well. I mean, you'd be crazy not to. 22 years old. Yeah, he makes mistakes, but all keepers do, don't they?
But
he's
a brilliant goalkeeper.
You expect that. But yeah, many clean sheets for us. But yeah, I agree with that. Okay, next we come on to Gus Scott Morris. He'll be 29 in May. We're going to start with you, Jack, this time.
Yeah, I would keep him. I know defensive-wise he's not the greatest, but I think his attacking sort of output is worthwhile keeping for sure. I mean, the amount of stuff he's done for us, I think it would be a bit ludicrous not to try and sign him up, even for his resale potential, even if you're looking at that, really. I think you definitely got a deal for him.
I would agree with that. We'll come back to that. We've got Nick Bailey's just joined us, the team coach driver. We're going to take a quick half-time break and then we're going to be chatting to Nick. We've also we'll see how the ladies in the academy got on, and Football Memories is back as well. So don't go away, guys.
This is the halftime show in memory of John Gorrell.
Nick, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Phil.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely that.
Fantastic. So, Nick, many games on the road lately. I'm sure you don't mind that. You love to drive. The lads are probably sick of the sight of you, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely that. And it's been non-stop recently, non-stop.
So, what is the current mood like at the moment with the lads?
It was very, very quiet coming back on Saturday. One of the quietest journeys I've had, to be fair, this season. I think there was an element of frustration from the gaffer. There's lots of opinions and so forth going around at the moment, I see on social media. But generally, I was in the crowd and I believe that we should have had at least one penalty.
Yeah, we were just discussing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a good view of Hopper being pulled back. And generally, I thought we were pretty good in the first half, to be fair. But I'm being honest, at the moment, it just feels like I've got to be careful what I say, but because I have to see these guys in 2 days' time against Aldershot. But we just at the moment we just need somebody to put the ball in the net when we get.
We need to get back to Roots Hall as well, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that will lift the mood as well.
Yeah,
'cause it must be tiring for them, you know. Same with Kev. You're not hitting the training ground as much if you're travelling a lot as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
can't wait to get back.
I'll be honest, it's just been so full on, even down to the kit man. Like where you've got these Saturday, Wednesday matches. It's non-stop for them at the moment. So just a congestion of fixtures in it.
Yeah, and it's going to be like that to the end. It looks like 2 games a week. So
yeah,
man's going to be earning a lot of overtime.
He is. I don't think he minds a 4G pitch at the moment because obviously that's a lot cleaner kick forward.
Yeah, he's probably the only one.
Absolutely that. So obviously he's probably looking forward to Horsham in a couple of weeks. Obviously for that basis.
Yeah.
But it's I have to say we got there on Saturday and looked at the pitch and it was quite heavily sanded, and then as the players got off, they were not happy because they'd just been told there was another pitch inspection when we got there at 1:30. But obviously, good thing was it was on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you've been to a few new places this season. First question: did you get your pasty at Truro?
Did I get the pasty at Truro? I always get a pasty wherever I go. Yeah. Probably the best one was actually not for our supporters, but Bath City when we went there the first time.
Oh right.
They was handing out free sausage rolls and God knows what.
I think you went to that, Charlie, didn't you?
No, I didn't go to Bath.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't get to that one. No.
But it's we had some free sausage rolls there, and I even managed to sneak some on for the players on the coach and stuff. I think they were more surprised that they got to them intact with me holding them.
So, anywhere else you've enjoyed going this season? Anywhere you've not enjoyed going?
I never particularly enjoyed Tamworth because
mention that
every game. Me and the kit man go down to the stadiums before I go back and pick the players up from the hotel. And Tamworth is the worst place for dragging all the equipment that we have to bring. It's round the other far corner of the stadium. It's not particularly a nice place, but I'm just frustrated that some of these smaller teams that a couple of years ago we'd have expected to beat, hands up really, and now we tend to go to these smaller clubs with ramshackle grounds, and it feels like hard work, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah. Indeed.
So, York City, I thought was a nice little stadium. In fairness.
Yeah.
They've got quite a nice setup there.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. I went up there and you had to walk through a leisure centre. It was very odd.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm going past like the swimming pool and that, and you've got like thousands of fans marching through. That been on the beer all day. It was surreal, but yeah, really good setup there. I was very impressed, like you, Nick.
Yeah. I like York City. Braintree Town's a different sort of kettle of fish, and it's quite small.
Not too far to go though.
Yeah, and to be fair, where was we a couple of weeks ago in the cup? Chatham.
Chatham,
I thought Chatham Town's little ground was really quite tidy. Sorry, gone.
No, I was going to say, you were saying about some of the grounds where you got to lug all the gear and everything. As soon as you mentioned that, I remember a few years back now though, but going away to Dover, and their pitch seemed to be right on top of a hill, and I think I had to stop about 4 times myself going up there. It was horrendous. It was a workout for the players before they even got to the pitch. So taking all the gear and that must have been.
It was. I don't have good memories of Dover.
No.
There was a very strange atmosphere travelling back from there once with Sol Campbell sitting behind me. Having been dumped out of the FA Cup, so I don't have good memories there. But it's a horrible little ground. They all have to walk up the hill there and so forth,
So talking about memories, Nick, not long ago we played Forest Green. Little bit of a ruckus with Robbie Savage. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I was in the crowd because obviously I go into the crowd most games, and from in the Forest Green, you walk down the side of the pitch from our bit, and I have to walk into where the tunnel was and the changing rooms. And at the end of the game, I walked through into where the tunnel and the change rooms were, and Robbie had obviously got ushered off the pitch by the referee, having gone up in Kev's face and celebrated in his face and showed very lack of class. And as he come off, Ryan Innes was standing in the tunnel next to the changing rooms, one of our ex-players. And Savage was next to him, shouting all sorts of obscenities towards our players and staff who were still out on the pitch. And his words basically were, they messed our changing rooms up last year. I can't say the word on this. I can't say what he was saying, swear words on here, but it was a load of obviously dirty stuff coming out of his mouth towards the players and the staff. And in our celebrations last year after the playoff win, we did get a bit excited, and a couple of the benches were damaged in the away change room in Forest Green. However, I know for a fact that the day after, I think it was our CEO Tom Lawrence or one of our commercials had contacted Forest Green and said, "Look, we'll get it repaired straight away." Blah blah blah. So that was all dealt with. There was nothing left hanging. So Savage was making references to this what had gone on last year, when he wasn't even at Forest Green last year.
Yeah, that's right. Sour grapes, basically.
Sour grapes, and I have to say, if it weren't for the fact that I have to stay professional and I have to think about me getting into the ground next time, I so wanted to say something to him because I was within yards of him when he was shouting all this out. I'm so looking forward to him coming to Rootsthorpe.
We look forward to welcoming him back. I don't sit far from
100%.
No, I'm sure he'll get a fair few words that he'll be listening to. That's for sure. There's no hiding from it, is there? So,
as a player, he was just a nightmare, wasn't he?
I have to say that in speaking to a player, I've got to be careful. In speaking to a player that has played under him, the words are that he is the worst he's ever worked under.
Yeah,
it's all about him.
You see that, don't you? You see at the end of their games, the way he's parading around. You think, Christ almighty, it's like...
Yeah, it really is.
It's embarrassing. It really is.
And I look now, guys, I look for their result because I so want him to fall off the wagon.
Oh, it's beautiful them slipping down the league. It really is. It's lovely to see.
Yeah. I can't wait until he comes to Rootsthorpe.
Playoff final. How about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely that. Absolutely
you take that all day long.
Yeah.
So, few new players in the squad this season.
Yeah.
Can you recall any initiation songs? Any good? Any absolute stinkers?
Owen Mason last Friday night. Owen Mason last Friday night stood on the chair, although when he was standing on the chair, his head was almost hitting the ceiling. He's a tall lad. And basically, He made up his own song. I can't repeat it on here, but I can't repeat it on here. But he made up his own song, completely his own lyrics, which made references to dating girls, of the daughters of a defender, the daughters of a midfielder, and the daughters of a striker. It was quite unique because normally people take all everybody else's songs, but it was quite unique, very clever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there were two ladies that were waitresses in the dining room as well, in our own dining room as well,
Yeah.
who had the unfortunate thing of being in earshot of it as well. So,
So he endeared himself really.
yeah,
I'm intrigued now.
he's a character, I have to say. You know, I know there was a mix-up for the goal on Saturday between him and Gubbo. But I have to say that I think Owen's got something about. I personally think he's got something about him. He's got I think he's really well thought of in his short space of time that he's been here the last couple of weeks. And he's got something about him. He's got a presence about him. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it will settle down and he'll get to know the defenders a bit more in the next few weeks to get on the training. Are you still singing, Nick? Are you still doing your Elvis numbers?
I haven't done it this year. No.
Maybe that's where we're going wrong.
Well, Gus shouted at me down the coach a couple of weeks ago and said, "Are we going to get a song out of you, Nick?" And because I have to be ready for it, I have to be a bit prepared. So maybe if we get to the playoffs again,
if we beat one of the top 6, you should have said.
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah. So if we get to the playoffs again, then maybe the voice will come out again. But
we've got football memories to give you. Stay around, Nick, because I want to show you this. Let's do it.
Football memories in it.
Right, I'm going to show you a video. This is something I've come across recently. It's not one of my football memories, but it's a football memories of a team. What were they called? Sunday League team from Colchester. Basically, they won their league and they spent $4,000 on an open top bus parade through Colchester. Sunday League team. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
This is them. Hang on a minute. Let's show you the video if we can get it.
Wow.
Two more meters this way. Bring it in. Yeah, that's good.
That's quality. Hey?
Okay, we'll
living the dream.
That because that wasn't the one actually.
Oh, wasn't it?
We have got them. I'll tell you about that one. Hang on a bit. I know this is mental. Right, hang on. Here they are. Here they are. It's crazy. Duck Pond FC. That's There you go. That was Duck Pond FC. Yeah, they've done it a few times apparently. It was a few years ago. The first video was actually a guy before that. Basically, his mates, he'd won Football Manager, the game Football Manager, and they bought him a trophy, got him an open touch bus parade, caused absolute havoc with the traffic. Absolutely mental. I come across that. Crazy football memories. Nick, if obviously we got a good chance of perhaps a bus parade this year, still in and around the playoffs, the FA Trophy is a big possibility. Will you be the man if we get the bus parade? Will you be looking forward to that?
I'll be disappointed if I'm not. I'll be disappointed if I'm not. I'll be disappointed if I'm not going to Wembley at least once again this year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'll. Everybody wants to get out of this league, but it's not an easy league. It's not an easy league to get out of. I think also, if you don't mind me saying, Phil, it's like there's lots going around on social media at the moment, and everybody has different opinions. But I think everybody has to realise as well, we were never going to be another Wrexham.
No,
we was never going to be another Wrexham. It's about sustainability. A lot of these top six teams have got far, far bigger budgets than what we have, from the playing staff point of view and so forth. So, I know there's a bit of frustration from some at the gaffer at the moment as well. That's sort of showing a bit at the moment. But my own opinion on that one is that I honestly would say, be careful what we wish for.
Yeah.
Be very careful what we wish for, because I think I'd rather have somebody that's got the club running through their veins at the moment, rather than somebody that comes in and doesn't know the club from Adam.
Yeah.
So, and people will have different opinions of that.
I mean, I think COSU have come out and they've been clear from day one that we're not here with multi-million pounds to chuck at the club. We're here to make sure that this club doesn't ever get to the point where it was a matter of months ago, really, still 18 months ago, 2 years ago now. So, yeah, like you say, I think it's very easy that when it's not going well, it's easy, isn't it, to blame players, blame systems and stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, like you say, we're not a Wrexham, we're not a Notts County, we're not a club with multi-million pounds at our disposal. We're a ground that's losing money year on year. And ultimately, we've got to put the foundations in, is where we're at the moment, getting those foundations in to build on for years to come.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. This might be a 4 or 5 year project before.
They did a 5 year project, didn't they?
Yeah. We all want out of this league, but I think everybody's got to take a step backwards and take a deep breath in, because I think I'm a bit sentimental. I do think it's a bit of an insult to the gaffer to start getting on his back. People, we're all armchair. We are all armchair critics.
Yeah, totally. You want job.
Every one of us. And at the end of the day, I just believe that people have got to hold a bit of patience intact with the club, because I see things going on behind the scenes on the coach and stuff, and obviously I see the frustrations that Gaffer has sometimes.
Yeah.
Potentially just getting players signed and so forth when he's trying to get deals done. And that's not what we also have to look at the logistics of it. The consortium, they're dotted all around the world at times. So we have to just sort of bearing in mind that they've all got the club at heart. They've all got the club at heart, but a £2 million loss has to come out of somebody's pocket, and it's their pockets. So I do believe, and some of these other clubs have got bigger budgets at the current time. So and this league is getting tougher and tougher every year.
Well, like we said earlier, I mean, Finn said it. We defensively we're second best in the league. We've had it's frustrating in a minute. We can't seem to get result against the top six sides. But if we start putting the ball in the net, things are going to change. And we have got a lot of home games coming up. Like I said, we've been on the road a lot. which does add to the fatigue.
Yeah.
But hopefully getting the boys back to Roots Hall, get the atmosphere, and hopefully things will turn around. And we're not that far off. I mean,
No.
Our target was never to really win the league this year. I don't think we're still in and around the playoffs. I still think we can get that spot. We've got games in hand as well. So all is not lost.
No, absolutely. I mean, looking at the question, would I rather have a playoff spot and not win the FA Trophy or the other way round? That's a tough one.
It is.
Because ultimately we all want that promotion. If we didn't get the playoff spot, but we won the FA Trophy, I'd still look at that as a successful season. Personally, I would. But the promotion is obviously in the forefront of everybody's minds.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. But I'm hoping to go to Wembley again. Go to Wembley. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us again, Nick. Like you say, hopefully it'll end on a great note. You'll get a Wembley trip. Listen, I've got a little suggestion. If we don't, by any chance, get to Wembley, we don't win the FA Trophy, I'm actually pretty decent at Football Manager. And I've been on a really good run. And it's likely I'm going to end with 1 or 2 trophies this season. So, listen, I don't mind you taking me the lads down on the bus around Southend.
The problem is,
the season.
If you're talking about that, Phil, your parade is probably likely to be in a Ford Mondeo 62 plate rather than a
with a window
rather than
down.
a coach.
Listen, mate, I'll take that. Nick, thanks again for joining us.
It's a pleasure speaking.
All the best for the trip on Wednesday to Aldershot, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Fantastic. Good luck, guys.
Cheers.
Keep supporting them.
Cheers.
Take care. Thank you.
Mate.
Super. What a great guy.
Yeah, great.
What a great guy. Right, let's get back to, where were we? Deal or no deal. So we'll whiz through these. Jack went yes with Gus. For me, it's a no-brainer. Gus has been one of the top players in the league, I think, not just ours.
Yeah, that's the same.
For me, it's a no. And I was like, what?
So, yes to me. Finn?
For me, it's a no-brainer as well, yeah. It is.
I think you say no.
One of the easiest
Charlie?
ones for me, yeah.
Likewise. You can't say no to that, can you?
So this next one might be a bit of a debate. George Wind, we've got a third-year option on him. He's only 23 years old. What are your views? Let's start with you, Jack, on this.
If he's got the option, I would probably use that option and give him another year, because it all depends. We need backup for Gus, really. I know we play Austin there. Austin on that side sometimes, but I don't see Austin as that sort of player, really. He just doesn't fit that for me. So for really, I think we do need. I think we do need to win, especially if we need someone a bit more. Well, if we decide to push, I don't know, for instance, decide to push Gus more up front, more up the pitch, I mean, maybe put Win behind him or something like that. I just feel like mainly for if Gus gets injured, we haven't got anyone there because, as I say, I don't trust Austin as a right wing back. Really, I don't really see him as that role.
Charlie, what are your views on this one?
Yeah, similar. I think with Win, I would be inclined to give him a deal. As I say, it gives us another option. If we need it, I think a 4-4-2 would probably suit him better.
Yeah, I agree.
To be honest with you, I think the wing back's probably not his sort of style or his position. However, it gives us that flexibility, doesn't it? That if we do need to, we've got someone that if we do want to, like Jack said, push Gus, up into that midfield spot on a 4-4-2 with Win behind him, we've got that option. And like you say, he's still a young player. And the times I have seen him play, I think there's a player in there. I think it just comes down to regular games, a bit of consistency, and we see the best of him. So whether it's the case of we give him another loan deal for a bit and stuff for him to get games under his belt, but for me, I think it would be very foolish if we was to let him go. I think.
Finn, when he's come in, he hasn't played that much. That's the thing for me. But when he's come in, he's done okay, hasn't he?
Yeah, I do quite like Wynn, to be honest. I just think he's a pretty decent player. My thing is, I think with all these players, we're going to have to factor in our squad depth. I think that's going to be a big thing because, and I guess if you think about what happens if we do decide to not keep him, then if I go no deal, then we're going to have to get a right back in. Really, you can't really rely on one right back all season.
No.
So then, do I really want us to be focusing on signing right backs in the next window? Backup right backs? Not really. So I think
You're not going to find another Gus, are you?
No, and it's just like it doesn't really make sense. If we got rid of him, then we'd have to get another right back in anyway. We're not going to get a right back who's better than Gus at this level or gets in the squad over him. So we're just going to be signing another backup right back, and yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. So it'd be a deal.
Yeah, that's 4 out of 4.
Cool, we're all in agreement.
This one will probably be quite an easy one.
I know.
29 in May, Harry Taylor.
Oh.
Yes, for me, outstanding footballer, defender.
We don't need to talk about this one too much, do we, Phil? Oh, is anybody going to say no?
4 yeses?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
That's not even a question, is it? That's not even. You should be getting that signed now. Get it.
The fact that there's no interest. Well, no reported interest in him.
Not that we know of,
well,
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you never know, to be fair, but yeah, hopefully, touch wood.
Yeah.
Nathan Ralph, 200 games Saturday. Absolute brilliant servant for the club. 33 he'll be on this Saturday. This is an interesting one for me because, I love Ralph. He's such a great guy. And I always think we're so good defensively when he's there. But the only thing that kind of in the back of my mind is the injuries, how much we're going to get out of him. If we are going to push on next, personally, I don't think we're going to go up this season. Even if we get in that playoffs, I think it's going to be tough. I think the teams have strengthened a lot more in the playoffs than what they did last year. So I think really we're looking at probably next season. So you're looking at another season in the National League. If we don't go up this year, we really want to be pushing on for that next year. And are we going to get a lot out of Ralphie? That's the question. Charlie?
Yeah, so I sort of agree with your concerns that we're starting to see more injuries from him, which it does come. He's had a brilliant career with us, and he's getting to an age where those injuries aren't as easy to get rid of now. But saying that, I think, like you touched on, I think when he is in the squad or in the team, we're better for him. His aerial ability, for one, is unbelievable. I think I've said it before. There's not many headers that he loses. He sort of just seems to hang in that air, and so that's a real threat. He chips in with the odd goal here and there as well. So I'd be inclined to give him another deal. Now, whether that's just a 1 year deal, I don't. I wouldn't look at. It wouldn't probably be a 3 year deal, for example. But I'd certainly give him a year deal, even if it's for the fact that he's an experienced player. If we get any youngsters in, he's a wise head. For those youngsters to learn off of, and I think that in itself could be really beneficial.
And for me, I was going to say a 1 year deal would make sense. How about you, Finn?
Yeah, to be honest, this might shock you. No, I'm not going to say no. Don't worry. But this is one of the most kind of important ones for me.
It's all opinions.
Maybe on some later, but we'll see. But for this one anyway, for Ralph, I think it's one of the most important ones. And I say that not necessarily from a playing aspect, but I think there's something big in having players around the club who know the club, love the club, been there a long time, experience. And I think when clubs start to, these players start to get to that age where they're thinking about retirement, thinking about slowing down, etc., I think a lot of clubs are quick to just ship them off. But then they don't think about the value he adds in experience. So I think give him another year, even if he's not playing much because he's injured. Or also, I think it's not necessarily a terrible thing if he's just on the bench sometimes, and maybe you think about somebody else as captain. I know that's a hard conversation, but sometimes these are the kind of things you've got to do to go up. But I think definitely give him another year. He's important.
I think it's a similar situation to Dimitri when he was starting to come to the end of his time, wasn't it? That he may not be playing as regularly anymore, but like you say, that experience he's got. Ralph's come through the worst of the worst, as a captain for us when, we went through some real adverse situations. So, he's seen it all. And, yeah, like you say, I think it's just invaluable, that experience that he's got.
Jack, are we getting a yes from you, or...?
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with what Charlie and Finn have said. Pretty much the same. I would keep him for leadership qualities, and then even if he does get into leadership qualities, but even still, he's still a quality player at 33. So I think it's worthwhile at least another year. So,
Finn, were you going to add to that?
Oh yeah, sorry. It's quick. I was just going to say that. Also, I think the good thing is, and I'm not talking about stripping Ralph of his captaincy like right now. This is probably later down the line. But I think the other good thing is that we do have, a made successor there for him. Harry Taylor. I think we're in a fortunate situation where Ralph is the captain at the moment, rightfully so. But if we need to slow down Ralph a little bit, and he'll be on the bench sometimes, etc. Later down the line, then Harry Taylor is your captain. So yeah, I think it's pretty good situation.
Well, this next one, I know where you're going, Finn, for sure. Joe Gubbins. This surprised me. He's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
I thought he was a lot older than that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for me, when he's come in this year, he's been excellent. I feel he probably could have played a bit more. Charlie?
Yeah, completely agree. He, I think, like Finn, I'm a real big fan of Gubbo, actually. I think he's one that looks very assured when he has been playing with us, and we spoke about it before, that on the odd chance where he's found himself out of the squad, I think he's been very unfortunate, because he hasn't really, hasn't put a foot wrong, take the weekend away with the mix-up. Other than that, he's been a very assured player for us. And like you say, he's still a relatively young player, only 24. So yeah, I would 100%. I would have a deal on the table for him.
You agreeing with that, Finn?
Yeah, I'll keep it nice and short. Yeah, 100% a deal for me. My hot take is that I think he's more of a defensive midfielder. I know some fans probably aren't ready for that conversation, but that's for me. I think he's more of a defensive midfielder. But I think quality player, fantastic, absolutely a deal for me. Can't say much more about
Jack. It. Your thoughts on Gubbins?
Yeah, I agree. I really liked Gubbins. Like, he didn't really get a lot of game time going back to last season.
No.
This season, ever since he stood in for Goodliff, he's been top notch. Almost one of the sort of first names on the team sheet, I would say, really. But yeah, definitely a deal.
So we've offered deals to all the defenders, which makes sense because defensively we are very, very good.
Yeah, and we also should be in that position that you don't really want to be getting rid of players.
Yeah.
On to the midfield. Let's see where this goes. So we start with Noor Hussain, 29 next month. Who are we going to start with? We'll start with you, Charlie.
Thanks. It's really difficult because of the injury, and I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, I probably wouldn't, because I think we've got to look forward, and we want to. There's no knowing what long-term impact that injury will have. Yeah. Coming into next season, season after. Whilst he's a quality player, I think we need to now look at replacing him and building, ahead of him. So, yeah, for me, and it is difficult. It is, but I'd say no deal. I think for Noor, unfortunately.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm on along similar lines, really, because without the injury, I'd probably say keep him. But as you say, you never know what that long-term injury is going to do to a player. And for that reason, I don't think, because at the moment we're having to get rid of a player to get a player in, I don't think it's worth the risk of having to keep him to then, he might not be up to the same standards again. And then you've got another year of having him and not be able to get another player in. So it's not worth the risk.
For me, Finn, he's a player that fits in the Kent system so well. I mean, his engine he runs and runs and runs. I think he's a fantastic player. But yeah, for me, if we're not going to break into that league this season, we've got to be looking next season. I think we need to freshen up in the midfield. The only thing he doesn't give you really is a lot of goals. And that's where I think one of our weaknesses at the moment is goals from midfield. And yeah, as much as I think he's a great player, like I say, his engine is superb, but the injury, he's had a big injury this season, and 29, is that going to get any better? I don't know. For me, it's a big question mark. So yeah, I wouldn't say it would be a yes for me. Finn?
No, I think him being injured has shown me how good he actually is, and I don't think when we were watching him, I don't think I really ever noticed how good he was. But I think this season, you could say a lot of our issues come down to him being injured. But
yeah,
it's just a case of will he be the same player when he comes back from it? Because as we say, he's not.
Can he recapture?
29, and it's just a case of those sort of injuries at that age could really, he could be not the same player again. So yeah, I'd probably have to say a no deal, but with the caveat of if it is a no deal, we have got to bring in a tough tackling midfielder to sit in the pocket.
Yeah, 100%.
That is
100%.
And what a sad end to his Southampton career if it is the end for him. Okay, this will be an interesting one. James Morton, he'll be 27 in April. Who am I going to start with? Let's start with Jack.
Sorry, I didn't get what was that, sorry?
James Morton.
James Morton. I think I would keep him. It's a different, because of him and Miley playing a similar sort of. It's like
that for me is a big one.
Yeah.
The fact that they are quite similar.
Similar. It's one or the other, really.
Although what Morts does give you, I mean, he's a good passer of the ball.
Yeah.
You know, spreads the ball really well. So did we get enough out of him?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think I would give him maybe a year with an option potentially, but it's a difficult one. I think he does work well in the system. I think it would be worth for at least the year, and then see how we are then. Really,
Finn.
So I'm going to be a bit brutal here. I'm going to be brutally honest. I think our biggest issue is the midfield, and I think a team's only as good as its midfield, and I think that's why we've had a lot of issues this season in some ways. And I just think he's not the only one in midfield I'd ship off, but I think, unfortunately, as much as I like him, I just don't think he's at the standard. I think he's probably at a mid-table, pushing playoff kind of standard club. And I just think if we want to push on, I'm not sure he's good enough. So for me, it's a no deal. Brutal.
Charlie, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm with Finn on this. I'm afraid. I would say thanks, but good luck in your future. Like you touched on, Phil, I don't think we get enough out of him. If I'm brutally honest, like his range of passing, but aside from that, there's just not enough from him for me to, like Finn said, our midfield's our weakest. That's where we need to build on this season, and yeah, unfortunately, it'll be a no deal.
What I'd like to see is a few midfielders coming in with high energy, like the Keenans. But yeah, as much as Morts is a great passer of the ball, I just feel he's not the sort of player that we need at the moment. So yeah. Let's come on to Cav Miley. He's going to be 31 in April. Now, I'll start with this one. Now, for me, I would keep him because I think, he certainly put a tackle in. We all talk about, have we got players that will put their foot in? Cav does that. Yeah, he likes a yellow card. He certainly does that. And I think if you are going to look at freshening it up in midfield, I think you can't obviously ship everyone out. You need someone who's got that experience that can. He may not be a regular starter, but I think you need players like that, like your Ralphie, who are around to guide players through. Charlie, what are your thoughts?
This is the one player that I've had real mixed feelings on.
I would go 1 year deal if it's me.
I think I said earlier that we need one of these players that are going to be, tough tackling in the middle, grab it by the scruff of your neck. Now, he's a tough tackler for sure. At times, he's always a booking away from a tackle, isn't he? Is he that player that I think in the future, looking, if we're going to, for next season, really make a good go of winning the league, is he the person that I would look to in the middle of the park as being that player? Probably not, if I'm honest. I just think that midfield is where we really, really need to make a statement of intent and impact. So for me, it's going to be a no deal.
Brutal. Finn.
Yeah.
So, for me, unfortunately, so this pains me to say because not that long ago, he was basically my favourite player in the whole squad. But, you know, I don't want to be too brutal, but in short, it's going to be a no deal for me. And I say that because I think, to be honest, he's getting to the age now where he does put in tough tackles and stuff, but I think in recent times we've noticed him getting more yellow cards, and you know some people could say that's because he's gets stuck in and stuff like that. But I actually, I don't want to be too harsh, but I actually think it's because he's getting old and he's probably a bit too slow. Because I think a lot of the yellow cards are just unnecessary, and they're just the man gets away from him and he can't keep up with them, so he has to pull him down for a yellow. For me, he doesn't really cut it anymore, and it pains me to say because I love Cav, and he was one of my favourite players. You know, he always will be.
Age is a horrible thing, Finn. It's a horrible thing.
I'm going to go no deal, sadly. Sorry, Cav.
Yeah. Jack.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because he was a really good player at his top level, but I think it's a no deal as well. Purely just because it's not, as Finn said, a lot of the time when you see him running back, he's always taking him down, never getting sort of the ball anymore. And I'm thinking if he gets one injury, sort of, and at that age, could it take him, longer to recover? I don't know whether it's worth the risk, whether it's better to try and get someone a bit younger in that same sort of role, personally. So no deal.
Let's talk about Jack Bridge. Who wants to start?
Go on. Oh, well.
Go on then, Charlie. 31 in September.
Yeah. I'm 50-50 on this, Charlie, so you might have to sway my mind a bit.
And I am as well, to be honest with you. There's a couple of things sort of going from I said earlier on that I really like Jack Bridge. I really do. I think last season he done so well for us, in his
brilliant
his creations, his goal scoring. He had a really good return. This season he just cannot get into that squad for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's just not working for him, and largely that's down to boys, keeping him out of the team. And I think I really wanted it to work out for Jack this year. I really did, because I thought there's a player in there, a really good creative player. My only criticism of him, maybe back in the last year, was that he was getting some good positions for the crosses, and then he would always sort of turn back again, where you think, get it over earlier, or he'd always try one trick too many, maybe. But I think just because we've seen very little of him this season and his inclusion, and I think ultimately that's what's weighing on my mind. I think that's what's leaning me towards not giving him a deal, as much as that pains me, because I really do like him. But I think for his own development and his own career, he needs to go, to be honest with you, because I think any other team in that National League, and potentially even League Two, there's squads there that he will do well in, for sure. Yeah. I have no doubt about it that, if he does go on to leave us, he'll have a great continue, and he's a local lad as well, which is horrible as well, because, he's a homegrown player, but for his own development and to see him do well, I think we're going to we'd have to let him go.
Yeah. Finn?
I don't know. I'm really undecided on this one, but I think I'm leaning towards maybe a deal. And I wouldn't have said that like a few months ago, to be honest. Like towards the start of the season, it would have been definitely a no deal, as hard as it is. But I just think lately off the bench, and I know we say about him starting and stuff, but I think, to be honest, I think he's best off the bench. And I just think it's kind of similar to George Wynn, where he will be a backup to boys. It's a case of whether he wants that as well. We've got to think about that, whether they want these deals. Yeah. But so if he's all right with being a backup to boys, then for me it'd be a deal. But yeah, it is a really difficult one.
Jack, any different to what the guys said?
Yeah, I'm thinking personally, I like him as a player, I always have, but I think no deal, purely just because, not because I don't think he would do well in the team as a backup, but I think for him personally, I think he should go out and get sort of first team football and, be a starter, because he deserves to be that. Because every time he comes off, as Charlie's kind of alluding to, that he comes off the bench. He's always played well. Like, he scored that goal at Woking, however long back it was, and stuff like that. And that cup game when he started, was the FA Trophy, I think. And he played him off the park. So he's still got a player in there, but I just don't think. I don't want him to waste his talent sort of sitting on the bench here, really. So I think just for the best for him, it would be to go elsewhere.
For me, I think it's seeing how it goes with the next sort of 5-6 games, really. See how much we can get out of him. We're at a stage of the season where we're playing a lot of games now. Boys, to me, has looked tired last few games. But the thing is, with Jack now and his age, can he play that role? I think he's more effective as an attacking player, in and around that final third. But asking him to come back and defend, I think the last couple of seasons, he's been found out a little bit doing that. So certainly against the bigger clubs. So for me, I think, he's such a great player. Yeah. Love watching Bridgie, ball at his feet. So for me, it's see what we can get out of him the next few games, and I think potentially 1 year deal, or freshen up and bring someone else in. All right, guys, we'll carry on this next week. We've got a few more to go through. Ladies played yesterday. Brentwood, there's no ladies with us today. They lost 3-0 at home to Brentwood. That's 5 defeats on the trot for them. We'll find out next week from the girls. We knew they weren't going to be here. They're not here because they lost.
No. This isn't a back off.
They just said they wouldn't be here. Yeah. And the academy had better joy. The under-17s registered a 2-0 win at home to Lowestoft. Goals from Dylan Lovely, great player. Dylan, really good player. Leo Filomenarino, hard one to say that. Goal for him. He's a decent player as well. And the under-19s, they registered a 3-3 draw away to Eastleigh. Brandon Dadson with another one. Nick on the score sheet again. And Harrison Lamb, he's had a great season. He banged another one in. So 3-3 for them. Both going really, really well in the league this season. And I think they've got their cup quarter-final coming up soon, haven't they? I spoke to Danny last week. He said they've got a lot of games coming up, like the first 3 in a week.
Yeah. I think he said they're similar to the first team. I think they've
exactly
because of the cup run, obviously that they've done. They're playing, Saturday. Is it Sundays? Can't remember.
Got a lot of games coming up.
Midweek games, thrown in with it. So
So good luck to those boys. Good luck to those. Right, coming up Wednesday, Aldershot away, another tough away game. Then Morecombe at home on Saturday. At last, we got a home game. Can't remember the last time we played it, to be honest. But Aldershot, a place we've not always done well at. Confidence isn't at its best with us. Aldershot playing quite well at the moment. 16th in the league. 3 wins from 3. Beating Halifax, Hartlepool away 3-0 and Eastleigh away 4-1. So some big teams they're beating. It's not going to be an easy game, Charlie.
No, it's not.
Sadly, again.
I'll be honest, I hate playing Aldershot. I hate playing Aldershot. I just feel like every time we play them, we struggle. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those like bogey clubs, I guess, that we struggle against. It's never a convincing win. If we have one, they're always very, very tough games, and it's going to be no different this week at all, especially with the confidence that they're playing with at the moment.
Yeah.
To come back from was it 1-0 down, 2-1 down, was it? I think they won 3-2, was it, against Halifax?
Yeah, right.
Which obviously done us the world of favours because
Will they do
only a point in
Wednesday?
it. But is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday? I think is it tomorrow? I think it might be tomorrow. I don't know.
Tomorrow?
But either way, whatever. Oh, is it when it is Wednesday? Is it? Yeah, I think their confidence is going to be high. They're on a real purple patch at the moment. 3 wins out of 3. We are on the road again. It's not a nice ground. It really ain't. And it's going to be tough. It really is. And it's going to be so hard to call. It really will be. I mean, if they still got... Is it Barrett they've got up top, who's always a handful? To be fair to him, he gets a bit of stick. You might look at him and he may not be a typical sort of footballer in stature or build. But he's got a great shot on him, a great eye for goal and physicality up top. He's a really good player, so one to keep an eye on for sure.
Jack, are you going at all?
No, I'm not going to that one.
Not making the trip.
No, I've been Aldershot enough. As Charlie's saying, the ground's dreadful. I just no, I can't be asked with it. I'll watch it on DAZN, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I won't be there.
Let's get a quick prediction on this before we move on to Morecombe, and we'll start with you, Finn, on that. Yeah, let's start with you as well on the prediction.
Yeah, maybe I'm different to everyone here in the sense that I actually really like Aldershot away.
Name something positive about Aldershot. Name one thing positive.
Well, the actual town is like really weird.
What about
people there?
It's not the pylon in the middle, in the corner of the pitch.
Well, yeah, but I guess I'm just a bit like you're gonna laugh at this because I'm the youngest here, but I'm a bit old school in the sense of my stadiums and stuff. Like I like the way end they I think they've changed the away end now.
What's wrong with it?
From last time, but the away end last time, it's quite a nice terrace, really. It's quite
yeah, but we just don't do well there.
Not in the middle of February on a Wednesday evening. It's not.
I think we should send him. He'll soon change his mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, you won't be going again. That's enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am going on Wednesday, so I'll tell you how much I like
Right,
it. But
I want 5. I want you to come back next week with 5 positive things from Aldershot away.
That's your challenge.
I will come up with 5.
Right, and then if you can convince me, I'll go there next season.
Yeah.
But I am not going again.
I'll
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah,
That's
so
your challenge. Right, what's the score going to be, Finn?
my prediction. Well, since everyone's hating on the away game of Aldershot, I'm going to try and manifest some amazing result. So I'm going to go with a 4-1 win. And Charlie's going to be sad at home because he missed it. That's it.
They're trying to home because he's working.
Yeah, fair
Charlie,
enough.
are you going to go 4-1? I don't think you are.
I'm not going 4-1. I'm really not. And you know what? I'm going to be positive. I am. I've got to. What you can't not go against your team, can you? But I'm not going as out there as Finn. It's going to be a hard fought, scrappy 1-0. It is. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a 93rd minute winner, which I'll take.
Yeah. Jack, anything different from these guys?
I'm thinking a 1-1 personally. We always, every time we go to Aldershot, as I say, always struggle. We never seem to win there. I just think we might score a goal, but I just can't see us winning. Unfortunately, I'd love us to win, but obviously.
I agree. Horrible ground, horrible team.
Yeah.
Horrible month.
Yeah.
1-1 for me. They're on great form.
Yeah, the one positive thing I will say, and I will give them a shout out for this, was I think it was last season or a couple of seasons ago away where we was real down in the slumps. And I remember, I don't know if we lost, more than likely probably lost that game.
Yeah,
but I remember their manager come round and applauded us all, and I think their captain, someone threw a Southend scarf out, and he held it up aloft as he was walking around and applauded. I thought, that was real credit to them because. Football aside, rivalries and whatever else, they understood, how dangerous a position we were in at that time, and I thought, actually, you know what, give credit where credit's due. The ground might be a dive, but that was a good bit of class.
Well, Finn, you can't have that as your positive. You need to find 5 new ones, okay?
I
5
will,
new
positives.
You're
going to laugh.
And the Portaloo isn't one either.
We'll let you have a result
I like
if we
it,
get that.
genuinely.
What, the Portaloo?
Something wrong with him.
No, I don't like the Portaloos, but I won't be using those. Right. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I think it's just like a nice old school ground. Like the away end was so good that they've now given it to the home fans because the home fans complained because they didn't have it.
So where are the away fans now then?
Well,
they're not in that corner. Like,
I don't think so. No, because that was the.
So you're probably just standing. So you're probably just standing outside in the elements with no cover now. Is that what they've done?
On the roof. Yeah. On the roof.
Right. We'll look forward to next week.
Saturday, Valentines Day. Bring your missus down to Roots Hall. We haven't been there for ages. We've got Morecombe, conceded 63, scored 35, sitting second bottom. Surely it's going to be a home win. They got rid of Ashvir Singh Javal, which I was gutted about because I thought he was absolutely clueless. They've reappointed Tom Bentley, who's been there before, obviously. I still think it's going to be a win for us. But by how many? Jack?
I think I'm going 3-0. I just think it's going to be, well, hopefully we should be a dominant performance. And hopefully we can be sort of, well, I'd like to think we don't need to be clinical because we should have enough chances, but hopefully we'll be clinical enough to score 3. Similar to when we played at home a couple of weeks ago. Who did we play? Anyway, yeah, we scored 4 in that game. So I'm hoping it's a similar sort of performance to that. Nice and easy, 3-0 up, kind of cruise the game if you like.
Charlie, any advances on 3?
Yeah, I'm going to better it by 1. I'm going to go for 4-0. Like you, Phil, I was a bit gutted. I was looking forward to seeing their manager, just for sheer giggles and entertainment. But it's not to be. I mean, it surprised me it's taken them as long as it did for them to replace him, to be honest with you.
It was a strange appointment, wasn't it?
But yeah, the whole setup's very odd. And, you feel sorry for them because they were a very similar situation to us. And it looks like actually they're going to probably end up going another league down. Yeah. Which club of Morecombe, their stadium, that isn't where they should be at all. That something's gone really wrong there. But yeah, I think we'll first game back home for a few weeks. I think the crowd will be up, and 4-0 win.
Finn, Shrimpers versus the Shrimps. Any different from these guys?
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, 2-0 was sticking out to me, so I'm going to go for that. But, as Morecambe's manager, old manager now, said that they're... Well, he said by January or whatever it was, the best footballing side in the country.
Yeah, that was a bizarre statement, wasn't it?
So, yeah.
It's a bold
playing
statement.
against the best footballing side in the country, I'm going to go for a 2-0, and we'd be lucky to get
that. If that doesn't sell out, then, nothing will.
Well, yeah, apparently...
I'm going to go 5-0. Come on, let's get back to roots. Wow, start enjoying being there again. Get the strikers some goals. The strikers need to start putting the ball in the damn net. Let's go big. Let's go 5-0.
Nice.
Let's see. Make it a proper Valentine's Day. Okay.
I'm not kissing you though, Phil.
Hey?
I'm not kissing you.
If we get 5-0, I'll be kissing you all.
I'll be running.
There we go. Right, we'll be back next week. We'll have reaction from Aldershot and Morecombe. Teammates from Nathan Ralph. We'll have more deal or no deal, and we'll have 5 positive things from Finn at Aldershot. We'll also be releasing our second episode of The Debate real soon, along with interview with Duncan Jupp and one other as well. Not going to tell you who, but that's coming up real soon. Many thanks to Jack, our fan of the month, Finn, Charlie, and Nick, who joined us, and also to our sponsor, Surgical Holdings. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening.